Europe is a continent where every stone bears the traces of a thousand-year history. Yet among the well-studied monuments, there are 15 mysterious structures that continue to puzzle scientists. Ancient stone circles scattered across the continent silently guard their secrets for thousands of years. Who and why built these gigantic constructions with astronomical precision? Some castles and towers, according to local legends, were not built by human hands, but by beings from other worlds. Coincidence or echoes of forgotten knowledge? Archaeologists continue to find artifacts in ancient ruins that do not fit into the accepted historical chronology, as if someone is deliberately confusing the researchers' maps. Particularly striking are the stone labyrinths and walls with perfectly fitted blocks, weighing tens of tons. How did ancient masters create these engineering masterpieces without modern technologies? Some scientists speak of forgotten technologies, others of assistance from extraterrestrial civilizations, but the truth remains hidden behind the veil of time. Join us on a journey to the most mysterious places of the Old World, where official history meets inexplicable facts, and ancient stones carry messages from the past that we are only beginning to decipher. The most famous, and perhaps the most mysterious of all the ancient megalithic structures in Europe, remains the majestic Stonehenge, silently towering amidst the green plains of Salisbury in southern England. Imagine this: more than 4,500 years ago, when most people lived in simple huts, someone planned and erected a monumental structure of stone blocks weighing up to 40 tons each. Under the grey sky of Britain, these silent sentinels of time stand in an ideal circle, as if frozen in eternal expectation. When you touch the rough surface of these ancient stones, you can almost feel the cold breath of the centuries and ask yourself, whose hands shaped these blocks? Archaeologists have established that some of the stones were transported from a distance of more than 240 kilometers, from distant Wales. How did people of the Bronze Age, without wheels or draft animals, manage to move such colossal weights across hills, rivers, and bogs? Some scientists suggest the use of wooden sledges and complex lever systems, while others talk about possible water routes for transportation on rafts. However, even the most meticulous experiments of modern engineers using ancient technologies do not provide a definitive answer. Even more astonishing is the astronomical precision of the arrangement of the stones. The main axis of Stonehenge is ideally oriented towards the point of sunrise on the summer solstice and sunset on the winter solstice. How did the builders, without modern instruments, achieve such accuracy? After all, this required decades of observation and complex mathematical calculations. British archaeologist Professor Mike Parker Pearson, who has dedicated more than 30 years of his life to the study of Stonehenge, says, "We know how Stonehenge was built, but we still do not understand it in full measure. Was it an ancient temple for sun worship? Or a gigantic astronomical observatory? Or perhaps, as some researchers suggest, a center of healing, to which the sick came from all over ancient Britain?" In recent years, archaeologists have discovered around Stonehenge a whole network of underground structures, invisible on the surface. The use of modern technologies, ground-penetrating radars and magnetometers, has allowed the hidden stone circles, pits, and sanctuaries to be revealed, stretching for many kilometers around the main monument. This discovery showed that Stonehenge was only the central part of a vast ritual landscape, the meaning of which we are only beginning to understand. Especially mysterious is the question of who created this monument. For a long time it was believed that Stonehenge was built by the Druids, the ancient Celtic priests. However, radiocarbon dating showed that the structure was erected 500 years before the Druids appeared in Britain. The mysterious people who created Stonehenge left no written records. All we know about them is their monumental structures and modest burials. Some researchers express even bolder theories. Famous British astronomer Sir Fred Hoyle suggested that the arrangement of the stones at Stonehenge reflects complex astronomical cycles, knowledge of which was necessary for predicting solar and lunar eclipses. But where did the people of the Bronze Age get such deep knowledge of the movements of celestial bodies? Could it be that this knowledge was passed down to them by someone else? In local folklore, legends have survived about how the stones of Stonehenge were transported to their place by the magician Merlin, who possessed supernatural powers. Of course, modern science rejects such explanations, but the very fact of the existence of these legends speaks of how incomprehensible the creation of this monument seemed even to people of the Middle Ages. Another unexplained aspect of Stonehenge is the acoustic properties of the stones. In certain points inside the circle, sounds resonate in a special way, creating an effect similar to the echo in a church. Is this a coincidence or a deliberate calculation of the ancient builders? And if it is a calculation, for what purposes? Perhaps to enhance the effect of ritual hymns or to create a special atmosphere during ceremonies? Every year on the summer solstice, thousands of people gather at Stonehenge to see how the first rays of the rising sun penetrate the center of the stone circle, illuminating the ancient altar stone. At that moment, it seems that time stops, connecting us with those distant ancestors who stood on this same spot thousands of years ago, observing the same phenomenon. And although modern science continues to reveal the secrets of Stonehenge, the main mystery remains unsolved. What motivated the people who spent decades of their lives creating this monument? What message did they want to leave for future generations? And how many more secrets do these ancient stones, silently standing under the winds of Salisbury for more than 4,000 years, still keep? But Stonehenge is only one of many mysteries of ancient Europe. If we travel south to the warm waters of the Mediterranean, we will find no fewer enigmatic testimonies of ancient civilizations whose technologies and knowledge sometimes seem impossible for their time. Callanish Stones, located on the rocky island of Lewis in Scotland, are no less mysterious and magnificent a monument of antiquity than Stonehenge. This stone circle, estimated to be around 5,000 years old, silently guards its secrets under the grey sky of Scotland. Imagine, amidst green hills and boundless ocean expanses, towering massive stone blocks, their height exceeding 4 meters, stand in perfect order, like ancient sentinels observing the world for centuries. Legends of the local inhabitants tell that these stones are petrified giants, turned to stone for their pride. But what, indeed, lies hidden behind this enigmatic structure? Archaeologists have not yet reached a consensus on the purpose of the Callanish Stones. Some researchers suggest that it could have been a ritual center where ancient inhabitants performed ceremonies related to worshipping gods. Others believe that the stones might have been used as astronomical observatories, allowing them to track the movement of celestial bodies. For instance, the orientation of some stones precisely indicates the sunrise during the winter solstice. How could the ancient builders possess such deep astronomical knowledge? Perhaps they were heirs to some lost civilization that passed down its knowledge from generation to generation. But this is, of course, just one of the theories. More mystical theories assert that the Callanish Stones are a place of power, where energy streams intersect, and that is why they were chosen for construction. Notably, the stones are situated on a height, and on clear days, they offer a magnificent view of the surrounding landscapes. Did the ancient people choose this place not only for its practical significance, but also for its spiritual energy? Each stone, with its unique shape and texture, seems to hold a fragment of ancient history that we have not yet been able to decipher. Many researchers note that the acoustic properties of the Callanish stones are also unusual. In certain points, sounds resonate in such a way as to create an echo effect reminiscent of the sounds of ancient hymns. How could the ancient builders achieve such an effect without modern technology? This opens the door to another mystery. Perhaps they knew the secrets of sound waves and used them to enhance the ritual atmosphere. If we delve into the world of ancient legends, we see that the Callanish Stones are shrouded in a multitude of myths and tales passed down through generations. Many believe that spirits of their ancestors dwelled in these places, making them sacred to the local inhabitants. But how was the life of those people who erected these colossal stones organized? What message did they intend to leave for posterity? What was their true purpose? All these questions remain unanswered, and perhaps will never be resolved. Perhaps the Callanish Stones are just one of many examples of how ancient civilizations have left us with mysteries and secrets that still await their solution. And so, from the mysterious stone circles of Lewis, we move on to other enigmatic artifacts that also hold unsolved mysteries, waiting for someone to decipher their secrets. The Giants Causeway, located on the coast of Northern Ireland, is one of the most awe-inspiring natural phenomena, evoking not only admiration but also deep puzzlement. This unique basalt formation, consisting of approximately 40,000 hexagonal columns, as if built by a giant, stretches along the shore and disappears into the marine abyss. How could nature create such grandeur? Scientific explanation points to volcanic origins, with these columns formed as lava cooled. However, ancient legends tell a different story. Local residents believe that the Giants Causeway was built by giants who used this path to reach Scotland. Myths mention that one of them, named Finn McCool, built a bridge to fight another giant living on the opposite shore. But how could reality intertwine with such a mystical image? Scientists explain that the structure of the columns, with its unique geometry, formed naturally. But can this be the only explanation? Why then does this place attract so much attention and inspiration, both for artists and adventure seekers? Looking at the Giants Causeway, one cannot help but ask, what secrets do they hide? These hexagonal columns, frozen in anticipation, seem to preserve memories of ancient giants and their battles, of things beyond our understanding. Some researchers suggest that this could have been a sacred place where giants were worshipped, while others claim it was used for ritualistic ceremonies. But, like many other mysteries of antiquity, the true purpose of the Giants Causeway remains unclear. Perhaps this place has become not only a witness to ancient myths, but also a reminder that on Earth there exist many places filled with magic and secrets, waiting to be discovered. Moving from one wondrous natural formation to another, we enter a world no less mysterious than the artifacts that can tell us about forgotten civilizations and their unsolved mysteries. Thus, from the Giants Causeway, we head to the enigmatic pyramids that rise in the heart of Mexico. What can they tell us about their builders? What was their true purpose? Each of these mysteries, like many others, remains unsolved. And perhaps it is in this enigma that the greatness of our history lies. The labyrinths of the island of Gotland, located in the Baltic Sea, represent one of the most mysterious and fascinating phenomena of antiquity, which continue to raise numerous questions and speculations. These stone constructions, whose age may exceed 3,000 years, seem to be frozen in space and time, preserving secrets that humanity is unable to decipher. How could our ancestors create such complex and whimsical structures? At first glance, the labyrinths appear to be simple circles laid out with stones, but their true purpose remains unclear. Some researchers believe that these were places for ritual ceremonies, sacred symbols used to connect with the spirits of nature. Others suggest that these labyrinths served as ritual paths, along which ancient people underwent trials or sought enlightenment. But how can we determine what is true? Local legends tell of encounters with not only spirits, but also one's own fears within these labyrinths, forcing people to confront themselves and their history. The smooth stone walls that border these labyrinths seem to whisper about those who once wandered along their winding paths. What could they have felt as they passed through this mysterious space? Research shows that similar constructions in various corners of the world were often built with the aim of creating sacred spaces. But why did Gotland become a home to so many labyrinths? Perhaps this place possessed unique energy, capable of attracting people seeking answers to their questions. But if that is the case, what happened to those who sought enlightenment here? Why do their secrets remain unsolved to this day? Moving from the mysteries of the stone labyrinths, let us turn our attention to other mystical artifacts that can also tell us about ancient civilizations and their forgotten knowledge. Consider how many more labyrinths, similar to those on Gotland, may be hidden on our planet, and how many stories they could tell about the people who once walked their paths. But this is just one of many places filled with secrets and mysteries. And with each step we take, uncovering new artifacts, we become increasingly convinced that our ancestors left us a multitude of messages from the past, waiting to be deciphered. What were their true intentions? What significance did these labyrinths hold for them? The answers remain unknown, but it is precisely in this uncertainty that the greatness of our history lies. The endless questions that lift the veil of mystery from ancient civilizations that left their mark on this earth. The castle of Hohensalzburg, rising above the picturesque alpine landscapes of Austria, is not only an outstanding example of medieval architecture, but also a true treasure trove of mysteries, keeping within its walls a multitude of secrets. Built in the 11th century, this imposing castle served not only as a fortress against enemies, but also as a center around which myths and legends developed. However, the greatest interest is drawn to its mysterious underground chambers, which, seemingly created for defense, may also hide something greater. Within the castle's depths, archaeologists have discovered unusual artifacts, the age of which does not correspond to the time of its construction. How could such enigmatic metallic devices and mysterious stone tablets with symbols inscribed on them end up in the underground chambers of this medieval fortress? Some researchers suggest that these artifacts might have been left behind by a secret society that used the castle as a hiding place for their knowledge and rituals. But what was their purpose? Perhaps these objects were part of a broader system of communication between ancient civilizations, about which we know only in fragments. Local residents tell tales of how strange sounds echoed from the underground chambers at night, and shadows seemed to come to life on the walls. What happens in these dark corridors that have kept their secrets for centuries? One of the most captivating theories asserts that the castle of Hohensalzburg served as a repository for ancient knowledge, perhaps even artifacts possessing mystical energy. How could such powerful objects end up in the hands of people living in the era of knights and medieval battles? But this question remains unanswered. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that these enigmatic findings spark numerous discussions and debates among scholars and historians. Some of them are convinced that the artifacts should have been created in later times. But why were they then placed in such ancient underground chambers? This leads us to the thought that Hohensalzburg might not have been just a fortress, but a place where the paths of ancient knowledge and modern beliefs intersected. But this is not all. If we look at the castle from another angle, we can notice that its architecture contains elements that are not characteristic of medieval Europe. For example, some frescoes and reliefs on the castle walls bear a resemblance to the art of ancient civilizations such as Maya and Inca. How could such influences have penetrated the heart of Austrian Alps? Perhaps this is nothing more than a product of imagination, but it is not impossible that ancient travelers, much like modern researchers, sought new horizons, leaving traces of their journey. The castle of Hohensalzburg, with its dark underground chambers and mysterious artifacts, continues to remain a center of mysteries and enigmas that await their resolution. Perhaps in the future, we will be able to uncover some of them. But for now, we remain before the face of the unknown. How many more such places are hidden in the depths of our planet, waiting for their stories to be told? And what significance do the artifacts found in Hohenwerfen hold for our understanding of the past? The answers to these questions remain unraveled, and this only underscores how little we know about ancient civilizations that left us such enigmatic legacies. Each discovery, each artifact, this is not just a testimony to the past, but a preparation for future discoveries that may lead us to the truth about who we are and where we came from. From the medieval castle of Hohenwerfen, shrouded in the mysteries of medieval Europe, we transport ourselves to the enigmatic Bruzanne Dolmans, hidden in the green forests of France. These gigantic stone tombs, dating back around 5,000 years, are not merely architectural structures, but genuine enigmas that continue to puzzle scientists and archaeologists. How could ancient builders, lacking modern technologies, create such massive structures, perfectly aligned with celestial bodies? Each dolmen, with its heavy stone slabs, seems to hold ancient knowledge that eludes our understanding. The sense of mystery is heightened when we ponder why these structures were built. Some researchers suggest that the dolmens could have served as both tombs and astronomical observatories, allowing ancient people to observe the movements of stars and planets. What was their purpose? It is possible that it was connected to rituals or beliefs in the afterlife. Local legends tell of the dolmens being built by giants who, according to the legends, once inhabited this land. But where did these giants come from? And did they truly exist? How could an entire civilization leave behind such impressive structures about which we know so little? It is remarkable that the Bruzanne Dolmans are oriented with such precision that their alignment coincides with astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes. How could ancient builders, using primitive tools, achieve such a level of accuracy? Some researchers propose a theory that they possessed knowledge that was lost over time, possibly even ancient technologies of which we are unaware. There is also a hypothesis that these dolmens could have been part of a larger network connecting various sanctuaries and places of power. But what secrets do they hide? Perhaps, hidden within these stones, there are messages or maps indicating the locations of other similar structures waiting to be discovered. But what is the fate of these places? How many more secrets are hidden beneath the surface of our planet, waiting for their stories to be told? It is also worth considering how local residents perceive these dolmens today. For them, they are not just stones, they are part of their history, their heritage, filled with the spirit of their ancestors. But how much do we really know about these ancestors and what they tried to convey to us through these enigmatic structures? Research continues, and each new discovery and finding in the area of the Bruzanne Dolmans opens up new horizons and possibilities for understanding our history. Questions remain, and answers to them still require further study. These enigmatic stone tombs remind us of how much of our past remains unexplored and how each new discovery can fundamentally change our understanding of ancient civilizations. Therefore, we can only wait for new data and theories to emerge that will shed light on these ancient mysteries. Will we ever be able to decipher what lies behind these stone doors in the world about which we know so little? From the mysterious dolmens of Bruzanne, we are transported to the gloomy waters of the Scottish Loch Oich, where submerged ruins lie hidden beneath the water's surface, shrouded in mystique and the secrets of antiquity. These megalithic remnants, according to recent findings, clearly attest to the existence of some civilization, about which there are no mentions in historical chronicles. How could such significant structures disappear from our historical consciousness, leaving behind only enigmatic fragments on the lake's bottom? Like forgotten dreams, they rest on the depths, preserving secrets that could alter our understanding of history. Scientists, utilizing modern technologies such as underwater filming and georadar, have begun investigating these underwater anomalies, attempting to decipher their purpose and origin. But how could ancient builders create such complex constructions, remaining in the shadows of history? Some researchers suggest that these ruins could be part of a vast network of sanctuaries connected to rituals, while others propose more exotic theories, linking them to myths about lost civilizations, such as Atlantis. One of the most intriguing hypotheses posits that these ruins may be evidence of the existence of ancient maritime peoples who not only built magnificent structures, but also engaged in active maritime trade. How could such master builders and navigators be forgotten, leaving behind only traces on the lake's bottom? But this is not the only mystery that Loch Oich's waters hold. Local legends speak of a city once located in the lake, filled with wealth and knowledge, which was swallowed by the waters, as if nature itself decided to hide it from human eyes. What happened to this city? Were they merely myths, or do these waters indeed conceal the remains of a great civilization? The watery depths of Loch Oich, shrouded in mist and darkness, seem to guard their secrets, waiting for us to uncover them. Specialists and researchers continue their work, and each new discovery on the lake's bottom raises more questions. How could such a high culture disappear without a trace? And what technologies did its creators use? This question may remain unanswered until we learn to read the signs left by the ancients, delving into the dark waters of our history. Despite all our efforts, we remain in the grip of the unknown. Perhaps the underwater depths of Loch Oich hide not only stones and remnants, but also some messages left by the ancients for us. What were their thoughts, fears, and hopes when they built these structures? We can only guess, but one thing remains unchanged. The secrets hidden in these waters continue to captivate and inspire interest, like a magnet drawing seekers of adventure and knowledge. And perhaps, alongside these submerged ruins, there are also other similar places waiting for their time to be discovered and tell their stories. How many more unsolved mysteries does our world hide, like ghosts from the past, watching us from the depths of time? Moving from the gloomy waters of the Scottish Loch Oich, we find ourselves at the heart of France, where the mysterious Dolmans of Carnac are located on the plains of Brittany. This gigantic complex of megaliths, over 6,000 years old, seems to hold within it the breath of antiquity and secrets that do not give rest to either scholars or simple researchers. How could our ancestors create such a grand structure, leaving it as an inheritance for posterity, as if it were a message from a distant past? The Dolmans of Carnac, scattered with massive stone blocks perfectly fitted together, produce an unforgettable impression. Each dolmen here is more than just a stone. It is a testament to those who lived here thousands of years ago, their beliefs and rituals. But what was the purpose of these monuments? Some researchers believe that the dolmens could have served as burial sites or places of worship, while others propose more exotic theories, linking them to astronomical observations and ancient prophecies. It is suggested that these stones were arranged in accordance with certain astronomical phenomena, possibly indicating significant events in the lives of ancient people. But what was the true purpose of their construction? Did they preserve both darkness and light, which could reveal the secrets of their creators? How could such advanced technologies and knowledge be lost, leaving only the enigmatic stone constructions that cannot be fully explained to this day? But this is not the only mystery that the Dolmans of Carnac hide. Local legends tell of secret rituals that once took place here, connected with cults of fertility and solar light. How does this relate to the archaeological findings on the site? Some believe that these stones hide certain signs that can only be deciphered by those who are capable of understanding ancient wisdom. Could these dolmens have been more than just burial sites, but places of power where ancient people communicated with the spirits of their ancestors? Immersing ourselves in the atmosphere of Carnac, we feel as if time itself has stopped, and the echoes of those who once walked here can be heard. Each stone, each crack in the structure seems imbued with history, waiting for someone to listen. Researchers continue their excavations, uncovering new artifacts that only underscore the complexity and diversity of the culture that once existed here. But even the most modern methods, such as radiocarbon dating and analysis of geomagnetic anomalies, cannot fully reveal all the secrets of these ancient structures. Perhaps some secrets will forever remain in the shadows, awaiting the moment when humanity is ready to understand them. How many more unsolved mysteries do these stone giants hide, which, like sentinels, guard the legacy of civilizations that have lost their power? We can only speculate that beneath their massive forms lie not only artifacts, but also messages intended to remind us that we are but a part of an endless stream of time. Will they reveal their secrets when we learn to listen to their whispers? Or will the Dolmans of Carnac remain silent witnesses, preserving in themselves the darkness and light, dreams and fears of those who once came to them in search of answers? The mysteries of these ancient stones continue to draw us in, making us ponder how many more secrets our planet holds, like riddles waiting for their moment to be revealed. Having moved from the enchanted valleys of Brittany, we find ourselves in Sweden, where in the picturesque city of Skåne, on the shore of a lake, lies a mysterious megalithic construction known as the Stone Ship of Ale. This extraordinary structure, stretching over 67 meters, seems to float above the ground, evoking genuine interest and a multitude of questions among researchers and ordinary people alike. What was the true purpose of this magnificent creation, which may have served not only as a burial site, but also as a sanctuary or a symbol of something deeper? Local legends whisper that the stone ship could have been a place where ancient people sent their deceased to the afterlife, or where rituals were performed to ensure the prosperity and protection of their tribe. But how could such a grand structure remain shrouded in mystery? Archaeologists excavating around the stone ship have discovered numerous artifacts, ceramics, tools, even animal remains that could shed light on ancient customs and rituals. Nevertheless, despite these findings, the essence of this megalith remains unclear. Some researchers suggest that the construction could have been more than just a burial chamber. It may have been connected to astronomical phenomena, serving as a kind of calendar for ancient people who observed the movements of celestial bodies and tried to predict the change of seasons. But why the shape of a ship? Why did the ancient builders choose such an unusual symbol? Could they have believed that their souls would be sent to another world, as if on a ship sailing on invisible waves? There is a belief that this construction could be connected to the cult of the sea and waterways, which played a key role in the lives of ancient people. But this is not the only mystery surrounding the stone ship of Ale. Local residents tell of strange light phenomena that sometimes appear over this area at night, stirring the imagination and emphasizing the mystical atmosphere of this place. How to explain these mysterious lights? They are nothing more than an illusion created by the play of light and shadow, or perhaps something else, connected to the spirits of our ancestors, observing their descendants? It is impossible not to ponder how many more such mysteries our planet hides, where each such structure is not just a stone, but a whole universe of questions and bewilderment that may never find an answer. Researchers continue their excavations, but even the most advanced technologies, such as georadar and radiocarbon dating, cannot give us definitive answers. How could such advanced knowledge of construction and rituals disappear, leaving behind only this silent construction, which, despite its age, continues to evoke such strong emotions in us? And what is hidden behind the form of the ship, which may have become a symbol of hope and faith for those who created it? This stone giant continues to stand at the threshold of our questions and fears, reminding us that history, like life itself, is full of mysteries that await their time to be revealed. Will we ever understand this mysterious world of the ancients and learn what they tried to tell us through their monuments? Or will the stone ship of Ailé remain forever lost in the darkness of time, calling us to ponder how many more unknown mysteries our planet hides? Leaving the mysterious stone ship of Ailé, we are heading to the heart of Italy, where on the picturesque slopes of the Ligurian Alps, enigmatic dolmens are hidden. These massive stone constructions, known as Lagorian Dolmans, are true portals to the unknown. Their origins are lost in the depths of ancient history, shrouded in myths and legends. Crafted from gigantic stone blocks, dolmens appear as if created by unknown masters possessing knowledge that seems inaccessible to us today. Local residents tell stories with reverence, claiming that these stone gates were once used for passage to other worlds, serving as places of power where different dimensions and realities converged. How could such massive and complex structures, created thousands of years ago, continue to evoke so many questions? Scholars suggest that dolmens could have been burial sites or sanctuaries, but facts do not allow us to reach a definitive conclusion. In the vicinity of these megaliths, archaeologists find ritual artifacts, ceramics, ornaments, and even animal remains, further fueling interest in the mysteries of the past. What role did these dolmens play in the lives of ancient people? Perhaps they were places where rituals were performed to ensure protection from evil spirits, or were they indeed gates to another world, as local legends believe? One of the most intriguing features of Lagorian dolmens is that some of them are oriented towards specific astronomical phenomena, making us wonder how advanced the knowledge of the ancient people about the cosmos was. Some researchers suggest that these constructions could have been used for observing celestial bodies, and perhaps they were part of a more complex system connected with astronomy and rural management. But how could it happen that such important places for their culture became simply stone monuments, remaining unnoticed? Stories about how dolmens served as portals to other worlds continue to be passed down from generation to generation. It is said that at night, strange light phenomena can be seen above the dolmens, which stir the imagination and make us ponder what lies behind this stone facade. Is it just a play of light and shadow? Or is there something more mystical present? An aura of mystery surrounds the dolmens, and each of them hides a multitude of secrets that may never be revealed. How could such advanced knowledge of construction and rituals disappear, leaving only these silent stone witnesses, which, despite their age, continue to evoke such strong interest in us? Could the ancient builders believe that their souls would travel through these dolmens, moving to other worlds where their ancestors awaited them? The idea that dolmens served as a connecting link between worlds makes us wonder how many more secrets our planet still hides. For each dolmen is not just a pile of stone blocks, it is a whole universe of questions and puzzles that may never find their resolution. Researchers continue their excavations, not losing hope that new discoveries will shed light on these mysteries. However, despite modern technologies and methods, such as georadar and radiocarbon dating, Lagorian dolmens remain an unsolved puzzle, evoking in us a sense of awe and unease. How many more such mysteries are hidden in the depths of our planet, waiting to be revealed? Will this enigma remain forever lost in the darkness of time? Or will we one day be able to decipher it and learn what our ancestors wanted to tell us through these monuments, which, like life itself, are full of unsolvable mysteries? Leaving the mysterious dolmens of Liguria, we will transport ourselves to sunny Portugal, where in the vicinity of the city of Almarim lies one of the oldest cromlechs in Europe. This monument, whose age exceeds that of the famous Stonehenge, is not only an architectural marvel, but also a genuine repository of mysteries shrouded in legends. The cromlech of Almarim, consisting of enormous stone blocks arranged in a circle, seems to invite us to delve into its secrets and unravel the thread of its history. Local residents, who treat this place with reverence, tell tales of living stones that, as it is claimed, are capable of moving at night when the world is enveloped in darkness. How could such massive and immobile structures acquire such unusual life? Perhaps it is merely a product of imagination, or ancient spirits dwelling in the stones that are indeed capable of awakening under the cloak of night. Nevertheless, despite the streams of myths and legends, the Kromch of Almarim remains a subject of serious study among archaeologists and historians who strive to unravel its mysteries using modern technologies such as aerial photography and georadar surveys. At first glance, it appears that the Kromch was built for rituals connected to ancestor worship or sun worship, but the exact meaning behind it remains unclear. Some researchers propose that the Kromch could have served as an astronomical observatory, allowing ancient people to observe celestial phenomena and incorporate them into their rituals. But how could people living thousands of years ago possess such knowledge that seems inaccessible to us today? This enigma has occupied the minds of scholars for many centuries, and despite their efforts, the final answer remains hidden behind the veil of time. How is it that a Kromch, which could have shed light on our understanding of ancient civilizations, remains shrouded in mystery and uncertainty? Legends of living stones that whisper to each other at night only add to the charm and secrecy of this place. Some local residents claim to have observed these events with their own eyes, which fuels interest in the Kromch and creates an aura of magic around it. How could simple stones become a symbol of the profound connection between people and their ancestors, as well as between our world and the world of spirits? Research continues, and each new artifact found in the vicinity of the Kromch expands our understanding of how ancient people lived and thought. Yet, despite all the discoveries, the Kromch of Almarim remains an unsolved mystery. Perhaps it holds the key to understanding ancient rituals and beliefs that have eluded us in the depths of time. What other secrets and mystical artifacts await their time to be discovered and reveal their existence? As we continue to explore our world, it becomes increasingly clear that many questions remain unanswered, and our entire history is just the tip of the iceberg, beneath which lie unsolvable riddles of the past. Leaving the mysteries of the Almenara's fortress behind, let us now move to Spain, where in the very heart of the historical region of Mur de Valbona lies one of the most enigmatic fortress walls, the origin of which remains officially unregistered. This wall, seemingly a living organism, evokes bewilderment and awe among the local residents. They claim that it grows on its own, as if overcoming the boundaries of inertness of stone. How is this possible? How could a structure built from massive stone blocks become the subject of such strange rumors? The local residents tell of how, with careful observation, one can notice that some sections of the wall become higher and wider, as if under the influence of an unknown force. This phenomenon, it seems, defies all the laws of physics and architecture that we know. It may be nothing more than an optical illusion, or perhaps the wall is indeed accumulating new blocks, as if a living nature strives for its own development and evolution. But what lies behind this mystery? Perhaps the ancient builders used some unique technologies of which we are still unaware. Or is it simply the result of the influence of time and natural factors, hiding the true nature of this structure? With each passing year, interest in the fortress wall grows, attracting the attention of archaeologists and historians who try to unravel its secrets using all modern tools, from laser scanning to geological studies. However, despite all efforts, no explanation can fully reveal the mystery. Some researchers suggest that the wall could have been part of a larger system of fortifications connected to ancient civilizations that inhabited these lands. But how could they create such impressive structures that seem to continue living their own lives? This wall, like a mute witness of past epochs, preserves within itself a multitude of secrets. Local legends about the wall being able to communicate with the lands that surround it only serve to heighten interest in this place. How could simple stones become a symbol of such profound connections between people and their history, as well as between our world and the world of unsolved mysteries? Research continues, and each new artifact found in the vicinity of Mur de Valbona expands our understanding of how the ancient people lived and thought. Yet, despite all discoveries, the fortress wall remains an unsolved mystery. Perhaps it holds the key to understanding ancient rituals and beliefs that have escaped us and sunk into the depths of time. What other secrets and enigmatic artifacts await their time to be discovered and reveal their existence? As we continue to explore our world, it becomes increasingly clear that many questions remain unanswered, and our entire history is just the tip of an iceberg, beneath which lie unsolvable puzzles of the past. How is it that even in our time we encounter such mysteries that, it seems, should have long been solved? This is not the only mystery that makes us ponder the capabilities of ancient civilizations. Moving from Spain, let us turn our gaze to France, where in the picturesque region of Brittany stands a gigantic menhir, known as the Menir Desan. This colossus, weighing more than 300 tons, does not merely impress with its size, but also raises numerous questions about how our ancestors could have moved and installed it without any modern technologies. How did they manage such a massive construction in conditions where there were no cranes or specialized techniques? Perhaps they possessed knowledge that has been lost to us, or they used unusual methods about which we can only speculate today. Imagine the ancient builders, surrounded by their companions, gathering around this enormous stone, which, seemingly independent of their efforts, remains motionless. With the help of simple tools, they spent long and arduous hours, possibly employing cunning mechanisms about which we have no conception. Some researchers suggest that they might have used a system of rollers and inclined planes, while others assert that moving such weights could have required an entire community of people working together towards a single goal. But how could they have ensured synchronization and the strength of such enormous efforts? And what secrets does this mysterious menhir hide? There are also theories regarding its purpose. Some scientists believe that similar menhirs were used as astronomical markers or sacred sites, while others suggest that they could have served as burial monuments symbolizing the connection between the world of the living and the dead. But how could such massive stones have been part of rituals that we can only vaguely imagine? Ancient people, perhaps, had concepts of the cosmos and time that sometimes seem too distant and incomprehensible to us. However, despite the diversity of theories, the Menhir Desan remains shrouded in mystery. How could such a massive structure, erected in an era when humanity was just beginning to master the foundations of architecture, have been installed with such precision? The methods by which ancient builders could have manipulated such weights continue to be a subject of debate among scholars. Moreover, many local legends assert that the menhir possesses magical properties capable of protecting nearby lands from disasters and misfortunes. How could simple stones placed in this spot have become a symbol of such profound connections between generations? For many years, archaeologists and historians have been studying the surrounding area, hoping to find additional clues that could shed light on this mystery. LiDAR scans, carbon dating, and other modern technologies allow us to delve deeper into the secrets of the past, but none of the explanations can fully clarify how and why the Menhir Desan was built. What were the intentions of the ancient creators, and what have they left us as a legacy? This mystery remains unsolved, and, as practice shows, with each new discovery, new questions arise. Thus, from the menhirs of Brittany, we can move on to other enigmatic artifacts that hold secrets waiting to be revealed. How many more stories are hidden beyond the limits of our understanding? awaiting the time when we can peer into their mysterious world. Are all these mysteries connected to ancient civilizations, or do they point to something even greater and unknown? We continue to investigate, and with each new discovery, it becomes increasingly clear that what we know is only a small part of a vast puzzle that presents itself to us in the form of mysteries from the past. How many more secrets are hidden from our eyes, waiting for the day when we can unravel them? Let's delve into the heart of Italy, where among the green hills and soft sunbeams, mysterious cave temples of Valadistria are hidden. These subterranean cult complexes, carved into soft limestone, are not merely architectural structures, but genuine enigmas that have intrigued researchers and history enthusiasts for centuries. How did ancient masters create such intricate and precise structures? Entering these temples, we seem to step into another world, where silence and semi-darkness fill the air, and walls adorned with ancient paintings and symbols keep secrets of long-gone epochs. Many scholars believe that the builders of these temples possessed special knowledge that seems inaccessible to us today. How could they cut and join stones with such precision, creating not only functional but also aesthetically perfect objects? Valadistria, with its unique ecosystem and rich historical heritage, remained in the shadows of modern civilizations for a long time. Ancient people might have chosen this place not by chance. Surrounding the cave temples are vast fields and forests that could serve as sources of resources and food. But what was the true purpose of these cult complexes? Some researchers suggest that they were centers of worship, where ancient inhabitants communicated with their gods, while others propose that these temples served as places for rituals connected with life and death. But how exactly did these rituals proceed, and what secrets did they hide? This remains a question. Each temple in Valadistria is unique in its structure and purpose, which only enhances their mystery. In some of them, enigmatic symbols and drawings have been found, which have not yet been deciphered. What are their meanings? Who left these messages from the past? Archaeologists continue to seek answers, but each new step only adds more questions. How could ancient masters with minimal tools create such complex constructions that still amaze us today? This gives rise to numerous hypotheses. Some believe they used methods that are lost to us, while others suggest they possessed unique knowledge of geometry and acoustics that we are just beginning to understand. No less intriguing is the fact that the underground temples of Valadistria reflect not only architectural but also astronomical knowledge of ancient peoples. Some scholars believe that their layout is connected to astronomical phenomena such as equinoxes and solstices. How could ancient builders synchronize their constructions with celestial cycles, using only their observations of nature? This connection between earth and sky seems so profound that it makes us ponder the beliefs and philosophy of those who created these temples. It is possible that these subterranean complexes hide not only the secrets of ancient rituals, but also traces of forgotten civilizations that once rivaled the greatest empires of their time. But what happened to their legacy? How could such wealth of knowledge and culture disappear, leaving only darkness and silence? These questions remain open, and the more we investigate, the more we realize that each answer gives rise to new enigmas. The enigmas of Valadistria continue to attract the attention of scholars, archaeologists, and history enthusiasts from around the world. Each step in the study of these temples is a step into the unknown, and each discovery only fuels interest in what lies hidden behind the veil of time. What were the true intentions of the ancient builders, and what did they leave us as a legacy? This enigma remains unsolved, and we can only hope that with each new discovery, we will get closer to unraveling it. And perhaps, in the future, we will find more such secrets waiting to be revealed in other corners of the world, hidden from the eyes of modern man, but ready to share their mysteries with those who are willing to seek them. we descend into the subterranean depths of Rome, where silence and coolness conceal one of the most intriguing mysteries of antiquity, the Catacombs of Doatila. These catacombs, which are among the oldest and most extensive in the Eternal City, immerse us in a world filled with riddles and mysterious histories. Their origins trace back to an era when Christianity was just beginning to emerge, making them particularly noteworthy. Some scholars assert that the Catacombs of Doatila were created in the 1st century of our era, which challenges many assumptions about the time of the emergence of Christian communities. How could these subterranean galleries have come into existence long before the first written records of Christianity? This question continues to stir the minds of historians and archaeologists. Entering the catacombs, we find ourselves in a labyrinth where narrow corridors and low ceilings create an atmosphere of mysticism. Walls, carved into soft tuff, are adorned with frescoes and inscriptions that may have once served as guides for those seeking solace and hope in dark times. What were the true intentions of those who created these subterranean sanctuaries? Some believe that the catacombs served as secret meeting places and burial sites, while others suggest they were symbols of resistance and faith. But how exactly were these rituals performed? And what hidden teachings could have been preserved within these walls? This remains unclear. Mysterious symbols etched into the walls add to the questions. Why did ancient Christians choose such images as fish or olives? Some researchers believe these symbols held hidden meanings, while others consider them simple signs of hope and faith. But how can we be certain of their significance if the ancient secrets remain beyond our comprehension? It is intriguing that the catacombs of Doatila not only served as burial sites, but also possessed a sophisticated ventilation and water supply system, indicating a high level of engineering thought among the ancient builders. How could such simple people, living in the constraints of limited technology, create such a complex structure? Some scholars propose that they utilized lost knowledge passed down from more advanced civilizations, although evidence for this remains scarce. Moreover, the catacombs were a place where different cultures intersected. Here, not only Christians but also pagans and Jews found refuge. How could this mix of religions and beliefs influence the rituals and ceremonies conducted in these sacred places? This may be one of the deepest mysteries, leaving us with the question of what truly happened in these gloomy corridors. Every corner of the catacombs holds secrets waiting to be discovered. Scholars and researchers descending into these underground realms hope to unravel their mysteries, but each step only opens new questions. How could one of the oldest Christian communities remain in the shadows and oblivion for so long? And what happened to their legacy, which we can only speculate about today? There are still many unsolved mysteries connected to the catacombs of Doatila. With each new discovery, we become more aware that the history of these subterranean realms is not just a story of Christianity, but a complex mosaic of human faith, hope, and the struggle for survival. How many more such mysteries lie hidden in the depths of our planet, waiting to be revealed by those who are ready to seek them out? These questions remain open, and only time may provide answers. Europe is not just a collection of modern cities and resorts, but also a continent filled with the mysteries of ancient civilizations that have left behind enigmas capable of captivating the imagination and raising numerous questions. We have just delved into the subterranean depths of Rome, exploring the catacombs of Doatila. And this example has shown us how deeply rooted in our past are the enigmas that remain unsolved to this day. These underground labyrinths, meticulously carved with precision, hold history, rich in both bright and dark moments. But the catacombs are just a part of a broader picture, where each country in Europe, from magnificent castles to forgotten villages, hides its own secrets. For instance, imagine the mysterious stories that ancient megaliths scattered across all of Britain could tell, or the mysterious circles on fields in the Netherlands. What are their true meanings and purposes? Perhaps they were places of worship, Or perhaps they were repositories of ancient knowledge, of which we can only speculate. And what about the mysterious artifacts found on the territories of ancient Roman cities like Pompeii? Each of them could be a key to unraveling the mystery of how our ancestors lived and what they left us as a legacy. But how much remains unexplained and unknown? One day we may be able to reveal these secrets, but for now, they remain in the shadows, waiting for someone to dare to investigate them. We thank you for spending this time with us, immersing yourselves in the world of ancient enigmas. If you enjoyed this journey through the catacombs and other mysterious places, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and write in the comments which structure you would like to see with your own eyes. Your thoughts and ideas are very important to us. And remember, ahead of us lie new videos about mysterious places on the planet, filled with secrets and enigmas, waiting to be revealed. How many more secrets does our planet hold?